good day. My name is Tiffany, and welcome to my channel. I run a spiritual practice called The Healing Hill, and if you're interested in learning more about me or booking a one-on-one session with me, I'll link my website below. But today's message, when I got up this morning, I had an interesting dream last night. And in the dream, there was a variety of things that happened, but specifically there was a large cruise ship that was getting ready to head off. There was also, I was in school in the dream, and I was ultimately going out to a party in the evening where I was trying on a bunch of different clothes, trying to figure out what to wear to this party. And so to somebody who, I spent 2 years, a short 2 years, learning how to analyze and interpret dreams. I had a spiritual awakening in 2020, and I will never forget, there were many, I didn't really remember my dreams much at all anyway. And now looking back, I know why. I was drinking heavily. I am an alcoholic. I would start my day with Adderall, and I do have attention deficit. I'm sober today. So it was prescribed to me. That being said, I didn't necessarily need it. It was a way for me to, it was a distraction. Let's put it that way. And I want to be clear, my story doesn't mean it's your story. If you're taking some sort of a prescribed medication that is helpful to you, it wasn't for me, okay? So I would start my day with Adderall. I'd get to work, have a couple of cups of coffee. As you can tell, I already run a little hot. I've got quite a bit of energy, and so I didn't necessarily need those things. By lunchtime, I'd have another Adderall that would, coast me out throughout the rest of the day. I would then, if I didn't have a client lunch where we were drinking at lunch, I certainly was drinking at happy hour. And then that would go into the evening, and I would traditionally finish my night with some cannabis. And that was the cycle for years. And so when I started having a spiritual awakening in 2020, the first thing that I quit was nicotine. And then, ironically enough, it was caffeine. The third thing I quit was alcohol. Then I quit cannabis, and then this following spring, I actually quit my Adderall prescription as well. And all of it was not like it wasn't like I put out, pen to paper and said, on this date, I'm going to quit this. And on this date, I'm going to quit this. It just happened. One day I woke up and said, I don't want to do this anymore. And then another time I woke up and said, I don't want to do this anymore. I would say alcohol, actually, out of all of the things that I quit, I ruminated about the most, because I started drinking in high school. It was a way of imbibing, of a way of socializing. And I was really concerned with who would Tiffany be without this thing. I did know that I was drinking earlier and earlier every day. I was starting at when I woke up in the morning. It was like one of the first things I did, cracked a White Claw, and I would drink all day. And when you have an Adderall prescription, it balanced it out for me. And then it got to the point, really what the tipping point was, is when I started counting how many I had left. Do I need to go to the store tonight? Can this get me through to the next day? And alcoholism runs in my family. I've been able to personally observe the plane crash, the demise, the disconnect from source that it creates in one's life. It's not like, let's just have one cocktail. It's like we're getting wasted. There's DUIs that are happening. It's a lot of conflict and drama that is generated from this. So I know that's why I wasn't remembering my dreams, because today sometimes I do use cannabis still. And the trade-off that I do know that happens, though, is when I smoke cannabis, I do not remember my dreams. Very, very, very rarely. And my dreams are so important to me because whether you realize it or not, we have 3 states of consciousness. We have our subconscious, we have our consciousness, and then we have our higher self, or some people call is your superconscious. And the blending of the 3 of those is what creates our reality. And so for me, it's like literally getting a roadmap to where you need to go and what you need to do and what your life's purpose is, and what gifts you came here with and what's preventing you from actualizing those gifts, or from maybe you want to know where you came from. Maybe you want to know the level of consciousness that you've evolved to. Are you an angel incarnated? Are you a spirit guide yourself? All of that can come in your dreams. But dreams, I will tell you, and unless the teacher that I had, his name is Michael Sheridan, and he founded the Ashling School. And what he shares, I don't know, this isn't something that resonates deeply with me, but this is what he shares: is dreams is the first language that we ever actually learn. And so once you learn how to interpret them, it's really beautiful. And so one of my most used books that I own, and I don't own that many books because I just don't own that many books, but I reference this thing daily, and it's got some cool stuff in it. I'll tell you about it. It's got chapters on how to interpret dreams and your health. Oh, I forgot, I didn't share that. So how dreams focus on your body. Heart matters. Dream symbols for the heart that show up. Digest this. Food allergies, the colon, cancer, interpreting colors, how emotions affect that digestive system, when to be concerned, and dream symbols for the digestive system. Reproduction in children. Nightmares, how your subconscious mind works. The power of lucid dreams, color in dreams, numbers in dreams, spirituality and life purpose, communication with angels, counseling. So these are getting into the gifts. Counseling ability, dream symbols for counseling, spiritual healing, absent healing, hypnosis, and projection. What are the symbols for those? Spiritual teaching and leading, writing, prophecy, fortune telling, relationships, psychic development, and then ultimately it's got a dream symbol reference or dictionary in the back. So for myself, I remember the fall of 2020 waking up for months in a row, almost like, I don't remember what woke me up, but when I was in the awakened state, I couldn't breathe. And I remember just trying to catch my breath. And at this point along in my awakening, I was aware enough to know that everything is energy, and that we have 7 chakras. We've got a crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root, and that is what connects us to the universe, and that one or multiple of those chakras can become blocked. And so when I was having difficulty breathing, I knew that there was blockages in my heart, in the form of emotion, in the form of suppression, in the form of the pain that I felt associated to my mother. And so I knew the root of it, but I didn't necessarily know how to heal it. And so sometimes, though, when I would wake up in this midnight state, I would have a thought or an idea. And by this point in time, I was actually working with an energy healer. And I woke up one night, and I had started journaling, so I kept a notebook by me. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and I remember writing down, and I still have this notebook, it's not within arm's reach, but I wrote down, I am going to heal myself and others through dreams. It's just this thought that came to me. And I share it with this energy healer that I'm working with. And ironically enough, it was COVID, so everything was done via telephone. But she actually lived in the same town that I did. And she asked me, she goes, "Do you know who Michael Sheridan is?" And I said, "No, I don't know who that is." And she's like, "Well, he's an Irishman, but he actually lives in Seattle, and he analyzes and interprets dreams. You should reach out to him." And I actually sent him an email. He never responded, which is totally fine. I know Michael today. I was just at his house recently. There was a group of us that had dinner. And so I started watching. He's got a radio show or a podcast, excuse me, where he records it, but it's also on Apple iTunes. And so I started watching his show. You can find a free... He allows free access to this dictionary, this dictionary that's in the back here on his website. So I went and downloaded that PDF and printed that out. That was like my Bible for a while. It was definitely a reference point for me. And I ultimately became a student of his. And now I do some work with the school for students that are going through it today. I do channeled readings for them. So one of so I am a channel. I know that all of us are channels, but, and we all have antennas, but they don't all work the same. And so one way, and so the intention of this video is to share how I knew that I had spiritual gifts because of my dreams. And one of the things that shows up for channel, there's a variety of symbols, and I'm going to share just a few. There's going to be, trust me, there are more. The way in which our higher self and how we're able to get these dreams, they're so beautifully crafted, But the number two, or seeing pairs of people, because when you think of channeling, it's a two-way communication. The communication, it's going both ways. The number two can mean other things, but that's just, because it could be that something happened to you when you were two. It could be that maybe there's some sort of lack of balance as well. But the number two, or seeing pairs of people, could be a symbol for the fact that you're a channel. Something else on that, this shows up, there was a celebrity in my dream last night, but is an actor, a TV actor, or any type of actor. Because when you think about an actor, what do? They channel something else or someone else. Another one would be like a musician. That could be also, or any type of musical instrument, really. It's not uncommon in the waking world for somebody to say something like, like an artist that way is like, I just had to, I had this, I just needed to channel this into a song. Like they're channels. Something outside of them is guiding them and getting them this information. So that's something. I am psychic, and I just made a video recently about how my psychic gift presented itself for the first time. The first time I ever knew that I was psychic, because it was happening in the physical world. But sometimes things happen to you and you don't know how to repeat them. But I will say for me to know that I was psychic, something that shows up really regularly for me is windows, really large windows. And that's a way in which I know that, I am psychic. If you meet a psychic in your dream, that you 100% are a psychic. I'm trying to think what else here. With reference to, I have the gift of prophecy. And how that shows up for me is having, being in a dream and having really large vistas or vantage points. I have the ability, like I'm on a mountaintop and I have a 180-degree view. That shows that I have the gift of prophecy. Let's see here. I have another one of my gifts is I have the ability to I have hands-on healing ability. I'm able to heal people with my hands. I also can do it absent healing as well. But and how that would show up is the color gold potentially, but also like seeing hands as well in a dream. Let's do one last one here. What would be another one? Oh, counseling. Let's do that one. That's a fun one. All right. Oh, so here we go. So here's a quick symbol reference for counseling dreams. A history of isolation in the family. Ability to harmonize opposites. Barrister, books, bridge. The color green with pink. The color peach. A counselor as a guide. Libraries, newspapers, pearls. Puns on the word counsel. Snakes and a taxi driver. Those would all be indications that you, my darling, have a counseling ability. And when you say, like, what does that mean? It means that you have an ability that is given to you by God to counsel people. Let's see if we can find another one here. Oh, this is a good one. I mean, this is like a laundry list, and I don't want to give too much of Michael's book away. You can buy this book as well. But here's, I mean, the digestive and elimination system show up in dreams a lot. And I'm just going to give you 10. Anger, tobacco, really anything to do with the dirt, the ground, is going to be your elimination system. A line of people, that's one that showed up in my dreams. I would see like a queue of people, and it means that there's like a line going on inside of your body. There's some backup going. A slow-moving animal. The floor, really anything on the floor is going to be, could be a reference to your digestive system. And this is what's so beautiful about a dream is if you are dreaming about your digestive system, there's going to be something in the dream that tells you what's causing this issue. Like, I truly believe that dream interpretation and analysis should be taught in school. It's such a helpful skill set to have in this human experience. All right, let's see one more. Oh. So I know we talked about prophecy or or fortune telling. But here's some other examples. And I dream of these. So the color soft or pearl white, I dream of that often. An eagle, I dream of an eagle. High flying birds or Nostradamus as a guide. So, let's see here. Yeah, so I encourage you, if this resonates, right? This is what also is really cool about Michael is that through his website, you can actually submit your dreams. I did that myself. I did it for months and nothing came to fruition. And I watched his show. He's got like over 300 episodes. He's been doing this for a long time, decades. And so it was like I streamed through YouTube and watched on my TV hours a day of him interpreting dreams because it's just so cool. And but you can submit your dreams and he will interpret them on the show, and then ultimately you can get some one-on-one time with him afterwards. And I will never forget the day that he interpreted not one, not two, but 3 of my dreams in a row. I just remember breaking down and crying. It was so cool. And now I know him today. You know, it's like just a reminder that our thoughts become things. So one other thing that I will leave you with before heading out today is that something that I know to be true is that every single one of us has at least one spiritual gift. At least one. And if not more. And when I say more is I've got, fingers and toes, count them. I've got a lot of spiritual gifts. I'm an ancient being, and they work in tandem. For me to describe it, it's like, I don't actually know. I just know that they do. And so just know that you're special, that you are, made in the image of God. There's nothing wrong with you. Be really curious about, who you are and what you are in this lifetime, because you come with stuff and it's inside of you. The universe resides inside of you. You are the universe. You are stardust. You are a star seed. Like, we're made of the same elements. You know what I mean? And so I encourage you to go to Michael's website. I'll link it below. Download the dictionary. Look up, I'm just going to flip to one page and just look up oh, here's a cool one. Television. Do you ever dream of a television? Television indicates that you're clairvoyant. You can see things from a distance. Here's another one. I'll go one more. Ooh, this is a good one. Okay, a bay. A bay, being part of the sea where life originated, represents your life. It can also be about your spiritual life, since ultimately life is a spiritual journey. So, at any rate, this dreams showed me the gifts that I had. And then once I knew I had them, it was like, all right, cool. I'm going to go seek out how to use the gift, how to actualize it on command. And I'm still my dreams are sharing with me that I've got new gifts coming online regularly. The more healing and the more you use a gift, the more that you're going to be, you basically get more resources. We're all on a quest here, and you're only going to get as much abundance as you need. And so just know that as well. If you found this to be helpful, share it with somebody else. Maybe they'll find it helpful as well. I love you. You are loved. Don't ever forget that. The universe needs you. I need you. Let your freak flag fly. And I'll see you next time.